Did you know that nearly 40% of murders in the United States remain unsolved? That staggering statistic means countless families still live in the shadow of unanswered questions, and sometimes, the perpetrators walk free. Welcome to our deep dive into the darkest corners of human nature. Today, we're exploring 9 of the most shocking murders in history. In this hour-long investigation, we'll examine cases that range from twisted family tragedies and high-profile kidnappings to cold-blooded mob hits and serial killings that defy explanation. We'll ask the impossible questions: what drives a person to commit such atrocities? And why do these brutal crimes continue to haunt our collective consciousness? Stay with us as we peel back the layers on these gruesome cases, and later, we'll focus in detail on one case that stands out for its sheer brutality and unexpected twists, one that challenges everything we think we know about evil. Case 1, the Borden family murders. Our journey begins in 1892, with the infamous case that gave rise to the chilling rhyme, Lizzie Borden took an axe. On August 4th, in the quiet town of Fall River, Massachusetts, Andrew and Abby Borden were found brutally murdered in their own home. Andrew, discovered slumped on the living room couch with his face horrifically disfigured from 11 savage hatchet blows, and Abby, found upstairs, having suffered 19 brutal strikes to the head, left the community in shock. Suspicion quickly fell on their daughter, Lizzie, a 32-year-old Sunday school teacher. Despite circumstantial evidence, including a dress later found burning that might have carried traces of blood, Lizzie Borden was acquitted at trial. Over a century later, the case still spurs debate. Was Lizzie an innocent victim of circumstance, or did she harbor a darker secret? The unresolved nature of the murders leaves us with more questions than answers. Case 2, the tragic murder of JonBenet Ramsey. Fast forward to December 1996, a holiday season marred by tragedy. In Boulder, Colorado, the Ramsey family's life was shattered when 6-year-old beauty queen, JonBenet Ramsey, was found dead in her own home. It began with a bizarre 3-page ransom note demanding exactly $118,000, the amount coinciding with her father's bonus. What initially appeared to be a kidnapping rapidly spiraled into a murder investigation as her body was discovered in the basement, bearing signs of sexual assault, blunt trauma, and strangulation. The investigation was riddled with missteps, a contaminated crime scene, conflicting statements from family members, and a media frenzy that only deepened the mystery. To this day, the question lingers: was this the act of a deranged outsider, or a catastrophic failure within the family itself? The unresolved nature of the case leaves us with an uncomfortable truth: some wounds remain forever unhealed, and some questions unanswered. Case 3, the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. On February 14, 1929, amidst the roaring chaos of Prohibition-era Chicago, the underworld witnessed one of its bloodiest events, the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. In a calculated move, mobster Al Capone ordered an attack on his rival, Bugs Moran, and his gang. Disguised as police officers, Capone's men herded 7 men into a warehouse and unleashed a hail of bullets. In mere minutes, the warehouse transformed into a scene of carnage. 6 men were killed on the spot, while a 7th lingered, bleeding out for hours. Although Capone's involvement was widely suspected, no charges were ever pressed. The massacre not only cemented Capone's fearsome reputation, but also symbolized the ruthlessness of organized crime in America. It serves as a grim reminder of the lengths to which power and greed will drive people. Case 4, the Lindbergh Baby Kidnapping and Murder. In 1932, the world's attention was riveted by the kidnapping of the Lindbergh baby, Charles Augustus Lindbergh Jr., the son of America's famous aviator. One fateful night, while his parents slept, the infant vanished from his crib. A ransom note demanded $50,000 for his safe return. Despite the payment of the ransom, the baby's body was found over 2 months later in a nearby field. The grisly details, multiple fractures in the tiny skull, evidence of animal predation, shocked the nation. German immigrant Richard Hauptmann was apprehended, tried, and ultimately executed for the crime. Yet, controversy and lingering doubts about the investigation continue to fuel debate among historians and crime experts alike. Case 5, the kidnapping of Frank Sinatra Jr. In December 1963, just days after the tragic assassination of President Kennedy, another high-profile kidnapping gripped the nation, the abduction of Frank Sinatra Jr., son of the legendary singer. On the evening of December 8, as Sinatra Jr. relaxed in his dressing room at Harrah's Club Lodge in Lake Tahoe, 2 former high school classmates, Barry Keenan and Joe Amsler, struck without warning. They overpowered him and whisked him away, leaving behind a trail of fear and uncertainty. The kidnappers demanded a ransom of $240,000, and the ensuing investigation involved the FBI orchestrating a daring sting operation. The captors were soon tracked down and arrested after their elaborate plan began to unravel. Although some critics later speculated that the kidnapping might have been staged for publicity, the overwhelming evidence and confessions ensured that justice was served. This case remains a striking example of how even the glittering world of show business is not immune to the dark underbelly of crime. Case 6, In Death, the Black Dahlia Murder. Now, we turn our focus to one of the most mystifying and macabre cases in American history, the murder of Elizabeth Short, infamously known as the Black Dahlia. In January 1947, Los Angeles was rocked by the discovery of her body. Found in a vacant lot, her corpse was severed in 2, with her face grotesquely contorted into what some describe as a permanent, twisted smile. The brutality of the crime was unprecedented. Her body had been drained of blood and arranged in a manner that suggested the killer was not only methodical but also deeply disturbed. Investigators were left baffled by a scene that seemed almost theatrical in its cruelty. In the weeks following the murder, a series of letters and clues emerged, cryptic notes that hinted at a connection to Hollywood and even the dark undercurrents of post-war society. Some theories suggest that the killer was a disgruntled veteran, while others point to a secretive network within the city's elite circles. Despite over 70 years of investigation, no one was ever definitively linked to the crime. What makes the Black Dahlia case so unsettling isn't just the savagery, it's the sheer enigma surrounding the investigation. Every new piece of evidence seemed to open more doors than it closed, leading to a labyrinth of suspects, false confessions, and dead-end leads. The case became a mirror reflecting the dark undercurrents of post-war Los Angeles, where ambition, despair, and the thirst for notoriety intersected in the most tragic way possible. For many true crime aficionados, the Black Dahlia murder remains an everlasting symbol of the unfathomable depths of human cruelty, a mystery that continues to inspire books, films, and endless debate among amateur sleuths and professional investigators alike. Case 7, The Zodiac Killer. No true crime list would be complete without mentioning the Zodiac Killer. Active in the late 1960s and early 1970s, this elusive murderer taunted police and the public with cryptic letters and ciphers. Claiming responsibility for at least 37 murders, the Zodiac Killer's taunts and coded messages sent chills down the spines of everyone from amateur cryptologists to seasoned detectives. Despite decades of investigation and hundreds of leads, the Zodiac Killer's identity remains one of America's most enduring mysteries, a stark reminder of how sometimes, the worst secrets can hide in plain sight. Case 8, The Axeman of New Orleans. From 1918 to 1919, New Orleans was terrorized by a mysterious figure known only as the Axeman. Breaking into homes in the dead of night, this killer wielded an axe with lethal precision. In a bizarre twist, The Axeman once sent a letter promising to spare anyone who played jazz music, a macabre nod to the city's rich cultural tapestry. Despite several arrests and widespread panic, the Axeman's true identity was never uncovered, leaving behind a legacy of fear and the eerie notion that even art can be used as a shield against death. Case 9, The Horrors of Albert Fish. Our final case is not for the faint of heart. Albert Fish, known as one of America's most horrific serial killers, committed unspeakable crimes against children in the early 1900s. His depraved acts, detailed in letters sent to the families of his victims, shocked a nation and forever stained the annals of true crime. Fish was ultimately executed in 1936, yet his legacy of terror endures as a testament to the darkest recesses of human depravity. His case forces us to confront the uncomfortable reality that sometimes, evil exists in its most unadulterated form. From unsolved mysteries that continue to haunt our nights, to high-profile cases that reshape the course of criminal investigations, these 9 murders reveal a common, haunting theme: the capacity for violence and tragedy that lurks within humanity. Each case not only left a trail of devastation in its wake but also forever altered the way we view justice, media, and even ourselves. What drives people to commit such horrific crimes? And can we ever truly understand the darkness behind these acts? We want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on these cases? Do you believe that the truth will one day come to light in these unsolved mysteries? Let us know in the comments below. And if you're fascinated by these dark chapters of history, make sure to subscribe and check out our next video exploring the world's most notorious serial killers. Thank you for watching, and remember, stay vigilant and stay curious.